What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Infamous Ghost Money here, and today I want to talk to y'all about one of the most common fraud techniques out there. Today we're going to be talking about check fraud. I'm going to be sharing some real important information that'll help you stay informed and one step ahead of this extremely common fraud technique. So if you find value in this video, hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel to get more of my content on how you could protect your money from these scammers. So let's not waste no time. Let's get right into it. First off, what is check fraud? Check fraud, put simply, is when scammers use checks to get money illegally. For example, a common method of check fraud is when a scammer will obtain your bank account information, such as your routing, your account number, your signature, or your personal information, and then use this information to create fake checks that they would then deposit and attempt to withdraw from the ATM or from a bank teller. Pretty much stealing money right out of your account, just like that. In this video, we're going to be going over 3 common check fraud techniques that's been hitting a lot of people lately. First off, it's insiders stealing information from their employers. Second, it would be check fraud through identity theft and mobile deposits. And lastly, we'll be talking about check fraud in the form of online job offers. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Alright, so we're going to start with the first method, stealing from employers or insider stealing. So what is needed to pull off this scam? First, you need a job with access to financial information, things such as paychecks or other business financial information such as working in accounting, bank statements, or other bank information. Next thing that they're going to need to pull off this scam is a burner account or a money mule. Basically, this is the person or the account that the fraud will be ran through and will eventually take the fall when everything gets caught. So they usually obtain this through manipulation, tricking people into doing it without even knowing what they're doing. Next is identity theft, when they steal information and they do it that way. Also finding willing participants who just want to get a cut and make some fast money. And lastly, sometimes they just do it on their own accounts like idiots. So how is this scam pulled off? First, they make copies of paychecks, just changing around some of the information in order for them to pull off the fraud. So basically they copy the paycheck style, forge the signature, they change around the sequence number so it's something that's close to the range. They make check amounts in the range of similar paychecks, and they also make the checks payable to the burner account individual. Once they got the work ready to go, the next thing to do is deposit the checks and attempt to withdraw it, and this could be done very easily. Depositing it straight into the ATM, or they could send the money mule into the bank to go do the deposit in person. Once the check clears, they got tons of ways they could get the money out. They could do Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, or they could just use a debit card and just make purchases. Now, they just keep repeating this cycle until the fraud is eventually caught. And once the fraud is eventually caught, if it was a money mule that was used, they may attempt to have the money mule go into the bank and claim that it was fraud and they had nothing to do with it. But that never works, because with check fraud, if you decide to do this on your name, no matter what story you give the bank, you will be liable for all the losses. So I'm telling you right now, it's not worth it. So if you're a small business or a business owner and you deal with checks, here's some things that you could do to defend against this fraud. First off, you want to reach out to your bank and look into a service called Positive Pay. Basically, this is a service that the bank provides to business owners to defend against check fraud. Only the checks that you approve with your bank will be allowed to be cashed, so if any fake or fugazi checks came through, it will not go through. Next thing is paying your employers or vendors through direct deposit. Just send that money directly to them so you got less paper floating around, so it's less opportunity for people to steal your information. As always set up bank account alerts and report anything suspicious immediately, and don't let people use your accounts to deposit checks. Never do it. Next, we're going to talk about identity theft and mobile deposit. So what does a scammer need in order to pull off this scam? Basically, they need your personal identification information. This is simple things such as your name, address, date of birth, social, and basically all the information that they would need to open an account online. They can also obtain this information by just stealing your username and password, so you never share that with nobody. But this can also be obtained through the dark web, insider stealing information, phishing, which is real big, or manipulation. And obviously, in order to do the mobile deposit, they're gonna need a cell phone with a camera. Now, once all this information is obtained, this is what the scammer does in order to pull off this scam. Basically, if they got personal information, they attempt to open an account online, and if they're able to do that, they just start dropping checks into the account just like that through mobile deposit. If they were able to steal a username and a password, it's even easier because they don't have to open an account. They just got to log in and they could just go crazy. So once they have access to the online account, they start printing fake checks and depositing it straight through their mobile device. Once those checks clear, similar to the other scam, they're transferring it with Zelle, Cash App, whatever you call it, or they're just going straight to the ATM to do a withdrawal if they were able to get a card issued. Now, it's real easy to defend against this scam, and it's all about being proactive. First off, as always, you always want to have bank account alerts set up, so if anything crazy is going on with your account, you get notified immediately. Always make a point to check your accounts daily, whether it be in the morning, the night, but just get into a routine of checking your accounts daily, because the more active you are in looking at it, the less likely something's going to go on without you knowing about it. And if anything does look suspicious, report it immediately. Do not waste any time, because the more time you waste, the more it's going to look like you were in on it. And lastly, no one is above getting their information stolen. Everything is online, so the best offense is defense and awareness. Now, the last check fraud method I want to talk to y'all about is online and remote job offers. So how do they pull off this scam? First, they got to create a fake job posting on a job board like Indeed, LinkedIn, wherever people go to look for jobs. Second, they got to be really good at social engineering and tricking people and manipulating people. Third, they're going to need stolen bank account information in order for them to run the scam, or a burner account. Now, in order for a scammer to pull off this method, they got to trick a desperate job searcher into finding the job of a lifetime. And now usually these jobs are remote jobs, secret shoppers, or basic data entry jobs. But it always looks too good to be true. And when people are desperate and looking for work, they don't look at any of the red flags that are coming up. So once the scammer has successfully convinced the individual that this is a real job, they start paying them through checks. And the checks are sent to the manipulated individuals in the mail for them to deposit into their own accounts. The usual scam is for the individual to keep a portion and send the rest back through money transfer or a gift card. They might even be asked to purchase items with the stolen money that will also be delivered directly back to the fraudsters. Scammers might even take it a step further and ask the individual to set up business accounts in their name to carry out even larger frauds. Eventually, the bank will catch on and freeze the operation, and the manipulated individual will be on the hook for everything, just like that. So how do you defend against this scam? If you're looking for a job and a job offer seems too good to be true, more than likely it is. If you're getting paid by checks and you're not sure what the company is, or you never worked with this company before, always go to the bank and get their opinion on the check. Many banks have systems that they can verify a check and let you know if it's good or not. And lastly, always research companies thoroughly before giving any of your information. So there you have it, folks. That's the top 3 check fraud methods that I'm aware of and how to defend against it. So as always, if you found value in this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you could get more of my content, and also leave some comments if you've ever been a victim or you know anybody who's been a victim of any of these kind of check fraud techniques. So with that being said, peace.